first heard the term sidebar when I was negotiating the multi-billion-dollar TV theatrical contract when I was an officer with SAG-AFTRA. And the sidebar is a sidebar conference in a court of law, a discussion between the lawyers and the judge held out of earshot of the jury. And in the spring of 2020 is when Michael told Archangel Michael, whom I work with in my psychic work, told me that I was going to be doing these readings for you guys here on YouTube, and now is the time. So these sidebars are these little conferences, short little tidbits of information pertaining to a situation going on in your life right now that's going to be my psychic channelings for all the 12 signs, and then we get a little bit of tarot on it, and it's just a little bit of discussion held out of earshot of the people in your life that this pertains to give you a little bit more information as it's guided. So enjoy. Hello, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising. Welcome to your sidebar one-on-one mini conference with me, Mother Capricorn. Okay, welcome. Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising. I'm picking up this energy for you. It's like, okay, the title is Bruce Lee. It's going to be something about Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee status, very likely. Capricorn, it is like Enter the Dragon. It is like Uma Thurman when she's in Kill Bill, and it's like you get to this point, a mental point. You get to this mental point, like she's literally buried alive, right? And it's like you get released. It's almost like the pressure builds up and the tension builds up to this point where all of a sudden, all of the walls that you hit in training, where you broke down crying because you got hit in the face with the little gloves, where you ran to the bathroom crying because you couldn't finish the workout that everybody else was doing, where you went home crying because you couldn't break the board or whatever, and you went home crying because you spilled the water that was on your back, or you went home crying because Paimei berated you about chopsticks, like all of those moments where you did break down and you cried and you nursed those, licked those wounds in private. Now you get to the point where you are buried alive and you're looking at that above you, and you're just there. You're at that point where now, where there was a wall, you fall through it, and now you're on the other side of it. You're on the other side of that tension. And so then you can kind of just break out of that, climb your way through the dirt, and then stand up, dust yourself off, walk to the diner, order a glass of water. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, where all those other times before, you needed to purge out some fears. You needed to purge out pain because maybe it didn't make logical sense to cry after you were sparring and then you just get hit. Like, well, that's what it is. That's what sparring is. Like, it's sparring in practice is you get hit, right? And so when all those times you did cry, all those times you did purge, you were purging out pain and suffering and traumas and PTSD and, fears, because Saturn rules fears. You were purging out fears, fear of failure, fear of getting hit, fear of not being good enough, fear of the future, fear of the past, fear of who you are, fear of where your life is going, fear of what people think, whatever. Purge. So now, what I'm picking up for you, Capricorn, is that you've reached that Bruce Lee status where it's like, there is no spoon. Like, you know what I swear, I hope I'm coming across successfully. I really, really do. Because it's important. It's really important that you get this, Capricorn, because actually, okay, even if you jump on Patreon for 1 month and go through all of my Capricorn readings, you can hop off and then it's cool. But then because when you hop on Patreon, you get access to like everything. That would be worth it, because there were 2 readings this past week. I think it was Capricorn Weekly and Capricorner, which is a special additional Capricorn reading that I do for Capricorns. it kind of expands on this a little bit, but it came up in your sidebar again. So it's strong. The force is strong with you. So it's your Jupiter-Pluto conjunction. That's what this is. But all you need to know is that you're there. You're in that zone where it even applies to if you're overworking yourself, if you are like pushing yourself too far, where you just stop what you're doing and you go take a nap and you just trust and you give your body what it needs, and you really surrender the worry and those fears about those kind of consequences or what's going to happen, and you really kind of align and you go with your own flow. And that's kind of the Bruce Lee status, where you do control your own frustration, you do control your own energies in like a very sophisticated way. So even where things are not perfect or not 100%, you do control everything that you have in your control very responsibly and capably, and everything that's outside of your control, you do surrender it. And you do let yourself off the hook with it. And so it's like this whole thing. I'm going to get into the tarot right now, but it's like this whole thing, Capricorn. So I'm picking that energy up very, very strongly for you. Because some Capricorns, I feel like this is like a cresting, crowning moment. And then for other Capricorns, I feel like it's like that final hardening, that final curing in the oven. It's that final, we're going to set you in place. Like you're going to be set. But first, we have to just make sure that you're absolutely as strong as you possibly can be built before we fix it that way. So, did something come out? Maybe not. Ooh, did you see that? I think I saw you see that. It's the Ace of Pentacles. Pentacles, pentacles. Reaching with your tentacles for those pentacles. Okay, so even the bottom of the deck card is pretty good. So Capricorn, Ace of Pentacles, this is telling us that whatever is hardening, whatever is coming together, whatever is working, whatever is, okay, I'm going to share this with you. And I was going to save it. I was going to save it for my weekly. So you're going to get it, Capricorn, a little bit early than everybody else. Anyway, so I was thinking because I actually think that I misspoke on the weekly on Monday. I was like looking at the charts, thinking about this T-square energy. And I was like, did I talk about a grand cross between the sun, between Venus and Mars and the nodes? When I was really thinking, I'm like, did I really go on and on like that? And I was remembering that I needed to do a major energy cleansing for the space that I'm in here. And then I started spiraling, and so I'm actually going to change practical magic for this month, and it's like a whole thing. But for you, Capricorn, where you come into this, I realized that because I've been doing so much astral work and so much 5D work that I get like that. I get like that. So anyway, so I was doing some more astral work. I was doing some deep talking to my higher self, future Natalee, right? She's the one who gives me like information. And I said to her, I said, okay, so there's all these different potentialities for my life, right? And I prepare and I talk about like every single one. She goes, right. I say, so one of these is going to happen. It's going to go. She goes, yeah. And I'm like thinking about it, and of course I'm like prepared for any potentiality, right? But I'm like, hey, because I'm me, hey. Which one is it? Thinking that she's going to tell me, right? I don't know if I really thought she was going to tell me, but it's worth a shot. And then she answers and she goes, whichever one God's meant for you. You. And I was like, okay. But that's basically it. That's basically a Capricorn. I know it's like a pretty nonchalant almost flippant kind of conversation. But that is kind of what encapsulates the Moonology card: balance, spirituality, and practicality. So the spirituality part is to be ready and prepared and Bruce Lee ready for all of the potentialities within your control, out of your control, and to think them all through. The practicality part is organizing your life as much as is within your control, Capricorn, to serve your alignment and to serve your health, to serve your highest and best good, to serve your destiny, to serve the care and keeping of you, of your soul in this incarnation at this time. And whatever gets to move, that whatever wants to, the Germans have this saying, it's called "Komme was wolle." "Komme was wolle," it means come what wants to come. So it's sort of like all that I just defined, "Komme was wolle," for you. So there's that. That's what I'm getting, is that you've got to that Bruce Lee, Beatrix Kiddo place where you are really ready for anything, any potentiality. It's like instant acceptance. It's like a very primal, almost animalistic thing, like instant acceptance of everything that's happening moment to moment. Even if you get hit by a truck on the freeway and you're a bird and you're a hawk and you start rolling down the cliff, it's like you just keep going, and you keep your mind so open, because if you hang back and if you stay in the past for like a millisecond, then you're already losing ground, you're already losing information, you're already losing like your life, because you're not in that moment anymore. So then you can't even think ahead because you're not even current. So that's just really big Capricorn energy that I'm picking up. And with this Ace of Pentacles, there could be an opportunity. That's what I'm saying. Like for some Capricorns, it's definitely the millionaire conjunction, the Jupiter-Pluto, where, and now it's not going to be like immediate, instant, on that day you get like $1 million. It's not going to be like that, because changes, especially seismic changes, like what's going on for Capricorns especially, it takes a long time. It takes a while. So see what's going on in your life, and balance spirituality and practicality, because what is coming down into solid form at this time for you between now and January, Capricorn, it's was wolle. It's what wants to be heavy and stay in your life. Boop. I'm going to leave it there, Cappies. That was a super long sidebar. That was more than a sidebar. Okay. I love you. Take very, very good care. I do, like I said, special channelings on my Patreon for Capricorns. I am a Capricorn stellium, so it's such an easy energy for me to just tap into. Yeah, hop on, hop off, toggle up, toggle down. There's classes, there's everything there. And, you know, like I said, if you do hop on in the middle or end of the month, go back and go binge watch all the Capricorn and get nice and juiced up in strong Cappy energy. And yeah, I'm around. I'm a screenwriter, so that's like my thing. And then what I do here, everything from Patreon goes into supporting Patreon and to supporting the YouTube. So that's its own like thing. It's on its own separate thing. So I still do psychic spying, but I honestly really recommend Keen. I have a link to their site in the description box below. They're who I'd recommend. They even have psychics that like specialize in twin flame stuff, in love stuff and some money stuff. So it's pretty cool. They're like the largest network. They've been around like 20 years or something like that. So they're pretty cool, man. Check them out. I love you guys. I love all of my Capricorns. I'm sending all of my Capricorns the most strengthening photons, all of my love, all of my blessings. And let us know in the comments what this turns out to be for you. And have a fantastic Jupiter-Pluto conjunction. I love you, Cappies. Mwah.